Okay, now I'm going to talk about how to do step 5 in this section 12. So step 5 is figure out how many people to split the bill between. So again, this is in the section called Section 12 Advanced Swift Programming Challenge, where we are making a tipping app. So figure out how to make the stepper update the split number label. If successful, you should see the number next to the stepper grow when you press on the plus side, and it should shrink if you press on the minus side. So you need to be able to go up and down. And so the way I thought about this was, first of all, we have this, let me see, where am I? We have a stepper value changed function. And so we need to figure out how to make the stepper update the split number label. So this thing's the split number label, and we know that because it's this IB outlet split number label, and it's a UI label. And this is what we're going to do when we have stepper value changing. So we know that the type UI stepper class has a property value that is a double. And the way you figure that out is you just double click on this, hold down the Alt key, and click on it, and it gives you this value. And so you can open that in developer documentation. And then you can see, you can scroll down and you can see that there's a value that's a double. So that's how we know that there's a value that's a double. And we know that split number label uses a string in the label, since all labels do, and that number is accessed through a text property. So in the way you want, if you want to figure that out by looking at it, you just know that you define split number label as a UI label, and then you hold down the Alt key, click on that, and then you can open it in developer documentation. And then you can scroll down and you can see that there's text, and that is a string. So basically we have this problem where we need to convert this sender value that's passed in, and convert that double into a float that can be displayed here. And we also, convert it to a string that can be displayed there. But we also need to set a value. Well, let's see what the first step is. I think I'm jumping to the second step. So let's see, figure out how to make the stepper update the split number label. So really all we care about is this piece of the split number label. So I was just trying to sort through what actually we're trying to see here. So if we, what actually is displayed. So the split number label dot text, this one, you can just print that at this point, but this is just going to be whatever's there when it's currently displayed. And then you can print the sender.value, because we know again that this has a value, and you can always find that out, of course, by typing in sender dot and making sure that there's a value there. But then we have to convert it, and so we need to access the value of the sender, convert it to a string so it can be used in the label. When we format the string, we need to remove anything to the right of the decimal point, so we only see basically an integer. We don't have to convert it to an integer, but it looks like an integer in the split number label. So if you search on how to convert a double to a string, you get this Stack Overflow link, which shows you looking for the thing that has the checkbox by it. So this shows that you can use this format colon %f comma followed by the string variable. So in this case, they let followed by the double value. So in this case, they let a equal a double equal 1.5. And so you can see here that when you just say %f, you get the full resolution of the float value. But if you say %.1f, then you get just one value past the decimal point. So it stands to reason that if you do 0.0f, you're going to get 0 past the decimal point. So when you look at this, you can see that we're letting, let's see, make sure that looks the same. See, it looks like string format this followed by comma and the variable name or constant name. So then you go here and it's string format %.0f and then comma and then sender.value. So when I was playing around with this, I was trying to just see what things were. So first I printed the split number label.text, then the sender.value, and then the split number label.text after we created that. So I know that that part works. Let me just stop it and run it for you so you can see it. So if I hit the plus, now what I expect to have happen is that it's going to call this function, and then I'm going to print the split number label dot text, the thing that's currently in there. So I should print a 2, and then I'm going to show the print sender value. So if I hit the plus symbol, then I should be passing in a 3, and then I should be showing a split number label.text with this print statement that's formatted properly. So this sender.value should be probably a float. So let's see what happens. See if I'm right here. Okay, so if I do that, so I'm seeing the 2 and then the 3.0, which is the float value, and then the formatted string value, although you can't really see that it's a string. So that's how that works. And then let's go to the next step here in number 5, which is figure out how to print the number of people to split the bill between when the user taps on the calculate button. So the way to do that is to, when you hit the calculate button, you have to think about scope of the variable. So like right now, this calculate pressed function doesn't have any access to anything that's defined here. But it looks like we don't have any definitions here. It looks like this number of people got defined up here. So they're defining the number of people up here. And so now we have defined number of people equal to this. And so that we basically took the okay, so the thing we needed to do the stepping and show the value change in the label was really just this. But now, if we want to figure out how to print the number of people to split the bill between, then we have to set the number of people to the set the number of people to the value of sender.value, and we probably should convert it to an integer just because that's the way we're going to use it. I don't know how critical that is yet, but Anyway, so if we have this print number of people that we defined up here, now we know that we can see this variable. Is it a variable? I think it's a variable. Yeah. The var, number of people equal 2, is set way up there. So that means that we can see it in stepper value. We can see the value of the variable in stepper value changed, and in calculate crest, we call that a global variable in this case. Global at least to this class. So now, and I already put this code in, so if I say calculate, then I'm going to see this 3 again. So this is a little bit cluttery, let me fix this. So I will comment out these print statements up here and just rerun the app. And so the example they gave was to tap on the stepper until the number 12 appears next to it, and then print the number of people. So let's go up to 12, and then we do calculate, and it says 12. So that covers step 5 in section 12.